Hey everyone, welcome to Slow News Day Live. My name is Steve Poikinen. I'm here in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and I'm joined by my better than your co-host, Ali Alexandra. Fantastic to see you. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
All right, man. It's flipping crazy. It is. Got a lot going on. Got a lot to talk about. There's an Israeli spyware company that nobody knows about, and they are vastly worse than the NSO group and the company that put out Pegasus. We're going to get into that. Joe Biden, dementia-addled buffoon, and we have video on that as well. What else? Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
Slow hand.
Appreciate that.
Has some thoughts, and is getting himself in trouble with the culture war, social justice, please daddy government, stick me with strange drugs crew. So that's pretty interesting. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, we should touch on the fact that the U.S. government is seeking the harshest possible punishment for drone program whistleblower Daniel Hale. That's a story that does not get covered often enough or get enough air, so we'll probably touch on that. If you did not see yesterday, Glory Jones and I were in San Jose, California, along with Keith McHenry and a handful of other people rallying for Commander X, who had his first court date yesterday. They will meet back October 12th, which, depending on what side of the argument you're on, is either Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day. But either way, we have several organizations that we can get a hold of to try and create a joint protest for that court appearance. Not much came out of it. It was like 7 minutes long.
I did watch it ultimately. I'm just listening to all the legal jargon. It was a bunch of nothing really. And the weird part to me, judges are always going to be very quiet, and like reserved, but it was so lighthearted almost, like their discussion. It was like, okay, well, and I'm just like, holy shit, this is extremely serious. And they just, it just kind of give this air of like, yeah, okay, we'll talk about it later, as if this man's life isn't, completely turned upside down.
Why do they have to have the pretense of being formal? Why do they have to have the pretense of being professional? Why do they have to have the pretense of acting like they have even the slightest bit of concern for the life of the person that is in the jumpsuit on screen? There's motherfuckers pulled up on their couch.
Yeah.
What's up, Your Honor?
What's up? Right? What's up? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, doing all right. Got the maid off camera whooping up some brunch. Hopefully we can wrap this up before my poached eggs get cold.
And the biscuits, gravy, all kinds of things. Yeah, the whole spread.
Freak the fuck. You know how it is, Your Honor, when your eggs are just slightly over poached and your living chef ain't bring them out to you right on time. Furious. Anyway, let's just push it to October. It's not like he's going anywhere. I mean, right.
No big deal.
Cool. I'll see you at the bar later. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
We'll talk.
No mask, right? Later. No mask. Yeah. Okay.
But they got the mask on camera though. Yeah, just for the people. Yeah, it's pretty abysmal. The state of like just courts right now, because of how, not like they were great before, but operating, in times of COVID with the virtual court, I feel like it's just even worse. Like, you didn't walk away from that feeling like there was any progress at all.
No.
Like, they're just like, oh, we'll deal with it in October. Because that was just like his preliminary hearing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was an arraignment. They read off the charges that he had. his lawyer, Jay Rorty, asked for discovery. He had apparently not been provided anything by the state at that point, except for the charges that they already had read out. So I don't really have any updates as far as that goes. However, let's see. I'm trying not to spill
Don't
the
spill.
fucking water I'm pouring.
Don't spill.
Right, no. And I will fuck that up later if I don't put the lid back on immediately. Lids are a good thing. I have come to figure this out. I notoriously would knock shit over when I was drinking all the time.
Yeah.
Bad form. Bad form.
Oh,
I should like be kind of not an idiot and do a little bit of like shit I hate.
there you go.
Which is remind people that we are entirely viewer funded and that this is the show right here, only source of income at the moment. We have a GoFundMe up. It's been out for like almost 2 weeks and we're almost halfway there. So that's encouraging. Awesome. Yes. It really is. As of right now, $139 away from being halfway funded, which is fucking incredible. I'm going to drop links into the chats. If you can, guys, please do. Like, it doesn't, there's no like, every fucking penny helps at this point, man. So if you can, please donate. If you can't, please share the link because that helps out a whole lot too. And that's not even like a little bit of bullshit or me trying to like play it up like I did. I've had proof of concept on this. If you guys share the link, it works. It does.
It works.
It helps get us to where we need to go. Which also is going to be me in August, going back to Denver, Colorado for some actions with the Assange group out there.
Okay.
And hopefully we're going to have like a whole bunch of the MCSC network there. I know that Misty's going to be out there. Hoping Franco's going to come out. Not entirely sure what's going on with Convo's living situation, but if they're all moved in at that point, or if they've got like another month or whatever, then maybe they can come out working on Nico. Yeah, dude, it's gonna be fucking gonna be hopping in Denver August 20th and 21st. If you can and you're anywhere near, fucking come down and see us. Gonna have a couple of cool things going on, including like the first Anything to Say event with Anything to Say sculptures, the 4 chairs with statues of Manning, Snowden, and Julian Assange standing on them in an empty chair for someone who has something to say. So we're going to recreate that. And should be good shit.
Right on. Got a lot of shit in the works.
Hopefully,
yeah. It's been like every 3 months. I feel like you guys have had something. Yeah.
I mean, dude, it should be. Well, it shouldn't be a thing at all, but like there should be people in the streets every fucking day over this shit. It shouldn't be like when we can scrape together enough to like get enough of us in the same spot to make it worthwhile for other people to show up.
Yeah, that's something I've really been thinking about lately. Like we were talking earlier about Greece, and I was just like, oh, those people know how to hit the streets. But, it was money. I think, I don't know. You would think that this would make people want to hit the streets, but I think like with Assange, because it happened so long ago, it's almost like become an accepted thing that he is in jail. They're like, yeah, it sucks. You know what I mean? That you'll just hear that, like, yeah, it sucks. Shouldn't happen. Like, okay, wow.
But if you don't say that along with everybody else, then
just kind of sits there.
Yeah.
No, but you guys work your ass off.
What else? I've got a really busy day tomorrow.
Do you?
I've got a really busy day tomorrow. I'm going to be on Tinfoil Hat with Sam Tripoli.
Awesome.
I'm going to be on one of Chrissy Marr's shows.
Also jealous.
And
jealousy.
We're doing a show going on Magnus's show.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I know, dude. That's a lot. It's
That's a lot. That's a lot. I didn't know that fourth show.
Also, probably an anonymous bites back.
Christ.
But the Unity or Death podcast, Magnus's show, that's going to be a really fun panel. And I think Misty's coming on for that too. But my old buddy Adam Kokesh is going to be on with us. Former Libertarian presidential candidate, former RT host, and also former member of the United States military, who participated in one of the most like moving displays of veteran anti-war protest in the last 20 years, which was the 2010, I think, Winter Soldier. And boy, if that Mike Preisner was around, that would be great. If we had that Mike Preisner.
That would be great. That is a busy day. And you have another show after this, yeah? You do?
Yep. I'll be on Into the Microcosm with Jimmy Jean on Aftermath FM.
If you really want to wreck your fucking brain before bed or not sleep, I would suggest tuning into that. There was one night I remember I was listening. I was like, I gotta go. I can't. I gotta get sleep. Not that it wasn't. It was all true. I was just like, nope. Not today.
Well, they do, like, they'll get down on reverse speech on that show. They'll do all kinds of crazy shit on that show.
Weird. It's cool though. I
like it. It's probably the most lighthearted that it gets when I'm on there.
And you are such a lighthearted person. I'm sorry. So that kind of tells you about that show. But it's interesting though.
Okay, so it's not like it's a niche market for the jokes, right? Yeah. Niche market for the jokes, but I would say that I'm significantly more lighthearted than most of the people that are on that show.
Yes, hands down, no question.
Downright happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, it's a nice balance, I think. Really perks up everybody's week.
So Joe Biden,
is
an absolute muppet. This is again, man, I maintain that if Joe Biden was your relative, you would not let him watch your children.
Hell no.
You would expect a phone call at any moment from the grocery store.
Hey,
we found him naked in the freezer aisle.
Again, this is about the 10th time it's happened.
Yeah.
Just Uncle Joey. Oh wait, no, not the character from Full House. Whatever. Joe, senile Joe. What did he do today while I was working? This is kind of fun. You can just explain to me what I missed.
Okay, so let's see. I've got several tabs. Okay, there's that one. We'll go with that one. And there's another one that I may not be able to play because when I tried to full screen it, it said it was deleted. But then when I went back, I don't know. We'll see. But here from Tom Elliott, and let me check my sound. Sound looks okay.
Okay.
That's underway, just like the other question is illogical. And I've heard you speak about it because I'm not being solicitous, but you're always straight up about what you're doing. And the question is whether or not we should be in a position where you are. Why can't the
Hold up, because he spent all of his mental capital on the word solicitous. We're going to start this over.
That's underway, just like the other question is illogical. And I've heard you speak about it because I'm not being solicitous, but
Okay, so from the word solicitous, you can watch the gray matter slowly leak out of either ear, and he does what
you're
Joey
always
B
straight up
does.
about what you're doing. And the question is whether or not we should be in a position where you why can't the experts say we know that this virus is in fact it's going to be, or excuse me, we know why all the drugs approved are not temporarily approved, but permanently approved.
Oh God.
So I expect that to occur quickly.
Well, that means you mean for the FDA?
For the FDA,
Yeah.
that's
So this begs the question, is there a teeny tiny little thing in his ear connected somewhere? Because he does get refocused.
Always.
Let's watch this again.
Yeah, one more time.
It's 40 seconds.
underway, just like the other question that's illogical. And I've heard you speak about it because you always, I'm not being solicitous.
He has
but
no idea who that person is.
You're always straight up about what you're doing. And the question is whether or not
No clue.
we should be in a position where you
Filler words.
are, why can't
Hold up, dude. I want to pause it for a minute because
God,
I'm going to come back a little. I want to see, and please play along at home if you're watching. Don't count how many filler words Biden uses. Count how many words that apply to an actual sentence, not necessarily the sentence he's trying to make, any sentence in general.
Okay.
Words that are not filler words, and I'm going to throw you for a loop here because general blanket statements like according to the experts or the experts say count as filler words when he's being asked a direct question.
This should be good.
When will children under 12 be able to get vaccinated? That's the question. So the answer would be soon. The rollout is underway. September. We are waiting for FDA approval so that children under 12 can get forced, get an experimental drug shot into them. We're waiting for that. So we're not going to shoot up 12-year-olds immediately. We're going to wait a few months. Those are the available answers. Never. That would be my preferred answer.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Never would be fantastic. But out of all of those answers, those are the way, and you feel free to add some filler words to that too. But bear in mind, we are not counting filler words. We are counting words that you could actually use in a sentence. Here we go.
Okay.
we should be in a position where you are, why can't the experts say, we know that this virus is in fact, it's going to be, or excuse me, we know why all the drugs approved are not temporarily approved, but permanent.
So from that 15 seconds, 20 seconds, that word salad, what did you get, Allie?
I personally got nothing. Nothing.
Okay, I was going to give him credit for, we know this virus is.
Nah, I didn't even.
I was going to give him credit for that.
Oh, that's nice.
It is kind of related, but I could be generous here. I could. I don't know.
That's nice of you.
We'll go to the chat. We'll go to the chat and we'll see
right,
what they say. Because the rest of him was getting spun around and being brought back on track. Whether or not he is being remote controlled, I don't know. I don't. I think he would be a little bit more clear if he was being remote controlled. I think possibly there was a little reset or something.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody's able to jolt him a little bit and the talking points roll out smoother.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure. So Will M says 3.
Let's see. I'm looking at the YouTube chat. Not a damn thing. So.
Word. That's funny.
Oz said, I think I heard him say the. Could be wrong. I think you did. That's also
Okay, we can
charitable.
give him credit for the. That'll be
fine.
A word.
You guys are being very charitable. When? So was this last night? This was last night that this was on? Because I'm going to have to check this out. Dumbass. You know my thoughts.
I guess it was last night. I don't know. I
You don't keep up with this everywhere.
I missed
I
out
missed it.
on the presidential town hall. I did. I apologize, but I'm catching it now.
Good. I
As
mean, I didn't
a
know.
concerned citizen, it is the least I can do.
Yeah. He's our president after all.
I'm gonna see if this other one will just play on my profile page without me fucking around with it. Where'd it go? Come on, Don Lemon.
Dina said he's a full-body DARPA experiment. I like that.
Shit.
Yeah, he is.
Shit.
What's wrong?
Oh, I cannot find. Oh, wait, there it is.
Found it.
Woohoo! We'll see if it plays though, because I'm pretty sure the tweet was deleted. But maybe I'll. Is it this one? Not that one. It's that one. Let me go ahead and close that one. Played it anyway. Oh no, now people know what 8 of my notifications look like.
I think you're doing well with this tech stuff. I'm just the annoying peanut gallery. I have nothing to offer.
Raising confidence in elected officials. Raising confidence. And I know this is going to sound like a non-answer to you, but part of this is that, you know because you're one of the most informed journalists in the country. You know the criticism I got by saying I want to unite the country.
He just told Don Lemon.
We can't.
Don fucking Lemon.
He just told Don Lemon that Don Lemon was one of the most informed journalists in the country. Now,
properly informed, sure.
Joe Biden thinks that that's O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, he just knows him as a well-spoken,
from the Hertz rental commercials. That's who he thinks he's talking to right now. I
forgot.
He thinks he's talking to Hertz OJ.
Which is a journalist, one of the most well-informed.
I'm watching Joe Biden, and I am remembering Reagan in his last handful of public appearances, where he, not even lights were on anymore.
Yeah, it was kind of over. All the old videos. He's far different than when he first started. How do you think Joe looks compared to Reagan? I know that's
Joe Biden is further to the right of Ronald Reagan. The amount of puppetry that you'll be able to get away with Joe Biden, vastly greater than what you could get away with Reagan. Yeah. Mostly because at least some of the people around Reagan probably cared about him. Nobody around Joe Biden cares about him.
No, he's nobody. Liability.
That's evident. They would have put a stop to this a long time ago if anyone in Joe Biden's sphere gave a fuck about.
Oh yeah, no, they don't care. If anything, it's like, there's your legacy. You know what I mean? It's almost kind of like, yeah, go for it, honey. Okay, that not that he has a fucking clue what's going on anyway.
And I don't think that Kamala Harris has had the been able to do the generational harm as the Bush family. So you can't really compare in terms of evil vice president. However, as far as an empty vessel goes, just a fucking
scary
blank human being.
Yeah.
Totally devoid of all of the characteristics that genuinely make one completely human or even partially human. A dead-eyed, soulless servant to power.
Yeah.
Has the potential to be more dangerous in a short amount of time than someone who gives a fuck about what their generational legacy is, like the Bush family.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a nice trade-off. It really isn't. George Bush Sr., arguably our longest serving CIA president. You can't say Roosevelt was, because there was no CIA.
No,
So
not yet.
You know, but George Bush ruled for 12 years and walked to the vice president's mansion from the director of the CIA's office in Langley, and was there to be the cleanup guy after the church committee came out, where his good buddy Bill Barr, plucky CIA lawyer, was the guy who was initially running interference and trying to shut down the church committee. That same Bill Barr became his attorney general when George H.W. Bush was president, so that he could again be attorney general when it was time to cover up all of the fucking massive war crimes and fraud and everything that went down during the Obama years. Because I don't know if anybody noticed or not, but none of that lock her up, sealed indictment, so everybody's going to jail shit happened. None of that shit happened, not even a little bit.
No,
Like,
in fact, the opposite.
James Clapper, still a free man.
Mm-hmm.
John Brennan, still a free man. John McCain, most likely dead. Although every time lightning strikes the Washington Monument, I do get a little nervous. Dude, not gonna lie.
Because you get a little scared.
Back! You know, like, that's part of my nightmares. A reanimated John McCain.
Oh God, yeah. Ugh. Spooky.
Straight talk.
Oh God, it's gonna haunt me in my dream. But yeah, none of that happened. None of the plan happened.
Well, and it's not even that, dude. It's not even that. There's nothing that fucking Trump said on the goddamn campaign trail
Also, that
happened. None of it happened.
Yeah,
none of it.
Even the wall. How's the wall? Not that I, just he didn't fulfill anything.
By the way, though, AMLO pissed me off today because he was on TV, the president of Mexico, advocating for Julian Assange's freedom. He was also the same man that knowingly let Commander X get kidnapped from his country.
See, and they know he knows. They're like not a ton of people know about Commander X, but yeah, say Julian Assange and that. Yeah, I support him, and you're good to go, right? Huh.
Well, and here's the thing, dude. They cited him coming out and saying Mexico will give asylum to Julian Assange as the reason they wouldn't give Julian bail. One of the reasons they wouldn't give him bail. A primary reason they wouldn't give him bail, because AMLO came out and said that immediately.
Yeah.
Didn't wait until the actual hearing. Or after the bail hearing. No, had to go ahead and put it out on Front Street.
Yeah.
Right in front of the judge. Hey, thanks, buddy. Thanks.
That's a bummer.
Thanks. Subtle.
Yeah, subtle, right? That's bullshit.
It's not somebody that wants to follow through on their asylum deal. That's for fucking sure.
Yeah.
So Eric Clapton.
Yes.
And this is like, people are, of course, shitting all over Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
And of course, shitting all over Van Morrison. And to be perfectly fair, Van Morrison is kind of a prick and has notoriously been a prick.
Yeah.
His entire musical career. So him being a prick and him not wanting you to get one from a doctor, unrelated.
They are.
Unrelated.
Yeah, you can separate the two.
I'm going to go ahead and pull up
You can.
the story. Hey, what did the kitchen think?
They actually, there's a couple guys in there that listen to conspiracy podcasts, whatever. They liked it. They liked it a lot because you guys were talking about bonds and shit, and there's a couple of them that are interested in that, including myself.
Oh, okay.
Good shit.
Really?
Yeah. I said ABB's on all the time.
I don't believe that there was a mass emergency alert issued 17 minutes ago in my current location. I don't believe that.
Oh,
I don't.
he doesn't believe it.
Eric Clapton says he'll cancel shows at venues that discriminate by requiring vaccination. Reacting to British government requiring COVID-19 vaccine passes for access to live venues and nightclubs, musician Eric Clapton said he would cancel shows at places that discriminated against the unvaccinated, saying that he felt honor-bound to make an announcement of my own. After Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced the vaccine passes on July 19, Clapton said he would not perform on any stage where there is a discriminated audience present. Unless there is provision made for all people to attend, I reserve the right to cancel the show. Right, said Fred. Apparently declaring Eric Clapton punk, which, I mean, fuck, dude, let's be honest. Let's be honest. What Eric Clapton is doing leaps and bounds more punk than what Jello Biafra
Oh my God. No.
and Fat Mike and fucking Bad Religion and everybody else in the fucking punk world.
I know Jello really
Just
got
do
you. Yeah. I won't say Jello around.
Police
Out of the word.
Police truck. Kill the poor. Fuck it, like
I know.
Jello Biafra is out there dedicating songs to Dianne Feinstein in like 1986, you know, and like calling her dear leader and shit. And like when she was still mayor of fucking San Francisco, you know, like he was going at it, dude, and rightfully so. Wearing a fucking mask in his own goddamn house.
Which, you know,
harm reduction, and I'm a fucking idiot. Like, Jesus
I love it when you
Christ, man.
I'm not egging this on at all, Jello. But I am. No, but fuck Jello.
It sucks, dude.
I know.
It sucks. It sucks. So of course people like shit all over Eric Clapton for it. But this was Eric Clapton's post.
Hell yeah.
Been a rebel all my life against tyranny and arrogant authority, which is what we have now. He looks like he's president of the Homeowners Association. I don't know who the fuck Jason Scott is, but apparently Eric Clapton said racist things in the 70s.
Okay. Because that's relevant to, you know, this, but people look for anything.
But I mean, okay, so
I think I mean, hell yeah, Eric Clapton. I'll take it.
Right?
I'll take it. Hell yeah. Get it as long it's a message that's getting out there. Because you have people that are like some people. I don't think Eric Clapton's going to be one of those celebrities or musicians that people are going to just like turn on, you know what I mean? Then just be like, oh, he's anti-vax, is gone. Like, it's Eric Clapton. I mean, I hope that we'll get some people to question it. What do you think?
It's so polarizing. It is. But I mean, what are they going to do, dude? Because Eric Clapton stood up to Boris Johnson. Eric Clapton didn't stand up to Joe Biden. Eric Clapton didn't stand up to Keir Starmer or Jeremy Corbyn. Eric Clapton is specifically addressing like the Trump of the UK.
Yes.
But the shit libs would rather defend Boris Johnson.
Oh, I love it when they do I love it when they move like that because they don't know what to do. So then they're going to go.
The music industry that is shitting on Eric Clapton, the artists, the performers that are shitting on Eric Clapton are saying, you know what, Boris? We've had our differences, mate. But this time, you and I, lad, we're together. You know, and like, what the fuck, dude? Because it's Clapton, because it's Van Morrison. Like, that the fucking look. I personally think Clapton probably pretty pretentious, but fuck, dude, he's not wrong.
No.
And more artists should the whole fucking time have been going, hey, whoa.
Right?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
No.
Right. They have.
And you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell my fans, come on, come out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this. Well, 0.04 to 0.06% of the people that got it died from it. 78% of those people were medically obese.
Yes.
Not optically, not body shamingly, medically. You had to have comorbidities unless you were among 9% of the entire total deaths from all of the deaths that were labeled COVID, which included gunshot wounds. It's not about your health. It's never been about your health. It's never going to be about your health.
No. Why would they suddenly care about your health when they've been feeding you shit, putting shit in your water, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
The same industry and the same medical professionals that these fucks got to sell you cigarettes, fucking all kinds of cancer-causing products, aside from cigarettes, some of whom Johnson & Johnson, as a matter of fact, still settling.
I just saw that.
For giving babies cancer.
But now
babies cancer.
You can look all this stuff. It's real.
Last year that's going on. There's fucking being taken to court for giving babies cancer and mothers cancer and fathers. Just fucking creating products in general that are short-term profitable, long-term harmful. That's kind of the business model. And when it comes to healthcare, our healthcare is a for-profit industry that is based on treating symptoms.
Yeah. We don't talk about the root causes of anything. That's for a reason. And I hope that gets worked into the discussion more as far as just overall health, because there's a lot of discussion of, Medicare for all now that we're seeing. Lots of people organizing, which is great.
Good on them.
Very much so. Yeah, we're good with it. Just as they move forward and talking about like how this will work, I hope that is part of the discussion instead of just free drugs.
I want to have that talk with more people because we have a for-profit death industry that's posing as a healthcare professional fucking market industry, and that's not. It's not doing anything for anybody except for the people that have stock in the fucking pharmaceutical companies and medical fucking technology manufacturers.
Yeah. And
if you are the owner of an imaging company or a fucking machine that fucking takes diagnostic images of the human body, you're doing good.
Oh yeah, things are great right now. And I was gonna say, I believe I've been watching. I think Marianne Williamson is going to be talking at one of the Medicare for All events. They should bring up actually something that I really did like that she said it was like the first presidential debate, and she was talking about healthcare, and she said, I don't remember the exact quote, but it kind of, people were like, oh, okay. She was talking about just overall wellness and how that's never a conversation. So somebody should ask her about that. Get that discussion going. But I'm not criticizing. Good on them, like you said. I mean,
dude, and they've taken so much shit to the point to where Ryan Grimm was like attacking a fucking blind activist. Like,
yeah,
that's a little fucked up.
A little bit. Just like, what's the point? Well, I think also because like those people, you know, people like that know she'll respond, and then it turns into this whole thing.
Oh yeah, no. That woman is what 100% emotion and wears all of it on the outside 100% of the time. If you want to get under her skin, it's the easiest thing on the fucking planet to. Like, and people know that and take advantage of that, and it's fucking disgusting.
It's mean.
It really is. Like, that's gross as fuck.
Way to go, Ryan Grimm.
I did. Those guys, they've been getting fucking attacked in like the most vile ways by people who are at least on paper supposed to be supportive of the thing that they're marching for. But you're going to go around those people to the politicians to say, hey, you guys want to be in charge of healthcare? Right?
Yeah.
And look, man,
that's what's frustrating.
I understand. I get it. I'm not saying that I want to keep the thing that we have. I don't, dude. I don't. There has got to be like an in between, or a not as fucking corrupt or operated by inherently corrupt institutions, a way that people who need to go see a doctor or need access to, not access to, but need to be able to take certain medications, whatever they are, gotta be a way to do that without involving the entire federal government.
Right.
Or only going through for-profit death merchants.
Because they are death merchants. I mean, how many? I think I just saw that. I don't know which company, but there was another settlement with the opioid crisis, and yeah, they're not liable anymore. Yes, and it's going to be paid out in ways that are. I believe it's going through the government. I could be wrong on this. I barely saw it, but all I know is what caught my eyes, that they have been absolved of liability. They'll just throw money at the problem because that's what we do. Throw money, quick solutions. Yes. So that's, I mean, that's I hope I have plenty of friends that are organizing for this. I think it's great. They're allies, but after that, it's probably a good idea to have some of the discussions like what we were just talking about, because it's a reality. I know that there's a lot of people, like, we want things to be a certain way and like things should be, but they're not there yet. And it's not like being, practicing incrementalism, but it's just like when you have all these politicians that are like, funded heavily by these companies, or you guys all know the deal. How do we expect to get all of this, this to work without kind of factoring that in? Because I don't know, maybe I'm cynical. I just don't really think the politicians care that much. I don't know if you've heard my thoughts on that, Steve. But I wish I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yo, dude, I was glancing at the YouTube chat, and then it, like, my whole fucking shit just froze. And we were both making really funny faces when it froze. So if I had a weird look on my face, it was because, like, for a solid 30 seconds, like, it was just stuck that way. Yeah, dude. And there's people arguing in the chat about music and fucking Eric Clapton and fucking and shit like that. I saw somebody bring up Trey Anastasio, and I just, look, dude, there will be no fish talk in my chats. No. Sorry. I know we haven't even had this talk before. Okay, but maybe it's time.
Never a dull moment in the chat.
Unless you can actually pull it out of water and take a hook out of it, I would prefer to have a fish-free chat. Yeah. The self-indulgent noodling fucking.
Yeah, I don't know better.
I mean, dude, come on.
I know.
Fucking Jesus Christ, dude. No. Anyway, I don't give a fuck who you listen to or who you like. I know, and I'll say this about fish. I made a lot of money allegedly in those parking lots.
Fucking fish. Sorry,
thanks for that.
Some too close crypter fuck fish. I'm not a big fan either, but I have tons of friends that dragged me to a shot. I mean, it was a fine time.
Fucking for like, dude. I mean, seriously,
that was so accurate,
motherfuckers, dude. No.
Oh god, that was too accurate. I looked up and I was like, ah.
Yo, dude.
Yeah, fish has its time.
Hey, man, I remember. I do. And I was there back when people were wearing the fucking like the Jinko jeans.
Oh,
the fucking like 52-inch fucking,
Oh
paint.
yeah.
Oh, bro.
Oh boy, those jeans, man.
Peak Muppet. Peak. It was fucking. Yo, dude, that shit was fucking hilarious, man, and fun as fuck. I'm not gonna lie, you could hide people in those pants. Like it was awesome. It was, man. It was.
You can go back to Northwest Indiana, and I can almost guarantee you that you can still find somewhere somebody wearing those jeans.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
100%. No, dude, there's people in the fucking Santa Cruz Mountains I saw not too long ago rocking Jacos.
Kind of brings, warms your heart a bit. You're like, oh.
Yeah, and a wife beater. And sure as shit, there was a little ICP fucking tattoo right here.
No.
It couldn't have been more. And the kid couldn't have been more than fucking 19.
Oh, God.
Couldn't have been more than, woo! Couldn't have been more than 19, dude. Oh, come on, man. That shit's hilarious.
That's good.
That
good
is.
stuff.
Our good friend and probably the best investigative journalist on the planet, Whitney Webb. When this whole Pegasus thing broke, right? And a software that's been around for a long time, to the point to where it's mentioned in WikiLeaks in 2014.
Okay.
To the point to where Apple put security patches, and did fucking announcements and updates in 2016, naming Pegasus software as the reason why they were coming out with these security patches. When that broke, and like I did, I fucking tweeted about it earlier. I texted Gordon. I was like, hey, man, looks like it could be big. Then we looked at it and realized that absolutely no Western countries whatsoever are involved in this in any way, shape, or form. No, neither is Ecuador. No, they're like, so okay. So I was talking to Whitney, and I'm like, there's a guy who, whenever he says, hey, look at this national security issue, it's usually because something big in the Assange world is happening and there needs to be kind of a distraction, or
yes,
it's because there's something bigger going on that is not getting attention, but because this particular version of the cartoon does include a Whitney, we're at least fortunate. And by this is lengthy. We're not gonna do like a super deep dive in it. But meet Toka, the most dangerous Israeli spyware firm you've never heard of. And again, this is 100% in response to this Pegasus story. And this story right here, bigger. broader implications, more direct ties to the Israeli government. Do you think, Allie, that Tucker is going to lead with this? Do you think that Rachel Maddow is going to lead with this? Do you think that anyone on network television or any mainstream newspaper is going to be like, holy fuck, really?
No. I think they'll stay as far as fuck away from it as they can. At least the Toka aspect of it. Tucker's probably still talking about the NSA spying on him.
That's true. And I mean, my God, dude, he was right. You know, like he was. So, this past Sunday, an investigation into the global abuse of spyware developed by veterans of Israeli intelligence unit 8200 gained widespread attention as it was revealed that the software, sold to democratic and authoritarian governments alike, had been used to illegally spy on an estimated 50,000 individuals. Among those who had their communications and devices spied on by the software known as Pegasus were journalists, human rights activists, business executives, academics, and prominent political leaders. Among those targeted political leaders per report were the current leaders of France, Pakistan, South Africa, Egypt, Morocco, and Iraq. The abuse of Pegasus software in this very way has been known for several years. Though these latest revelations appear to have gained such traction in mainstream media owing to the high number of civilians who have reportedly been surveilled through its use. The continuation of the now years-long scandal surrounding the abuse of Pegasus has also brought considerable controversy and notoriety to the Israeli company that developed it, the NSO Group. While the NSO Group has become infamous, other Israeli companies with even deeper ties to Israel's intelligence apparatus have been selling software that not only provides the exact same services to governments and intelligence agencies, but purports to go even further. So the article it's one of Whitney's. It's incredibly ridiculously sourced.
Yeah.
There's a couple of key points that I do want to make here, and that is, the firm in question, Toka, was founded by former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak, who, again, very close friend of Jeffrey and Ghislaine's. Very good friend. Was on the plane, was on the island.
Oh, wow.
Former Prime Minister of Egypt, was also involved in a number of business ventures with Jeffrey Epstein. So here's what's weird. In addition, the software is only made available to governments that are quote unquote trusted by Israel's government, which works closely with the company.
That's funny.
Despite the fact this firm has been around since 2018 and was covered in detail by this author for Mint Press News in January 2020, no mainstream outlet, including those that have extensively covered NSO Group, has bothered to examine the implications of the story. Now, we did talk about it a little bit when the story came out. We've done a number of pieces throughout the last year and a half, couple of years on Unit 8200. But I mean, really. And here's what I don't want to happen, you guys. I don't want, and I'm going to do everything possible. I already texted Burmis and I already sent him the article. And I was like, hey, look, no, you just had Jones on this morning. Send this fucking thing to Rob Dew, Alex Jones's producer. Just fucking, please send it to Dew. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll take a look at it and fucking make sure that it gets over. Whether or not somebody with Alex Jones's platform covers it, I don't know. I don't. But if like the fucking 10 million people that are registered to fucking InfoWars, if they see it, if half of them see it, that's a plus. You know, I mean, shit, dude. Like, but guys, fucking tag people that have already had Whitney on their show. Tag Tim Dillon with the article. Hey, you know, when's the last time you talked to Whitney?
It's been a little while. It's time to bring her back. Yeah, I'll do that later. Because he had Glenn Greenwald on.
And also,
Tim, wow.
The Unlimited Hangout podcast with Elizabeth Voss is out.
Yes.
And it is fucking awesome. And we're going to be having her back on soon. Because it's been too long. It really has. It's been fucking long. Like, and dude, like, that's kind of intentional. She went back to grad school, got married. Like, all kinds of cool shit has been happening to her, like, for her and with her. Like, so she's stoked, and not trying to, like, I don't know, fucking pull her away from a master's program. That sounds stupid.
A lot. Yeah, that's a lot. But I mean,
but it's summer. She's not back in school yet. She had time, put the article out. She got a couple of good articles out and a whole series that she started a couple of years back on the Finders, and that whole fucking child trafficking scandal.
Yeah, wild.
She picked that series back up. It's fucking fascinating. That's what the podcast with Whitney is about.
Yeah,
and really bad. Like two of just the best female journalists going. Or two of the 10, which are. Yeah, I know, but there's like more than there are dudes.
I
think
I would say so.
That
I'm
are
biased.
doing the kind of and the quality of investigative journalism work and the like on the ground reporting that you get from Whitney in terms of research and investigations, or fucking Bealey or Eva Bartlett, fucking Elizabeth Voss does incredible work. Caitlin Johnstone outwrites 95% of the people on the planet, like, every day, just in her Twitter thread. It kills people, And so I don't know, dude. I mean, like, I'm just out here reading.
Yeah, that's all you can do. No, that podcast, though, I would highly recommend it to everybody. I listened to it yesterday. It was really good. I mean, probably one of my favorites, actually, that I've listened to, just because that story about the Finders in general. It ties it all together with like other aspects that you might not expect. I will leave it at that.
But going back to this, and this is here's where I really want people. This is like the bigger takeaway. And the thing that I want to drive home is what Toka actually sells and who they're selling it to, and the array of tools that are available, because Pegasus only works with phones. That's what it's built for. Like, they could probably get away with it on a computer, maybe, but designed for specifically the iPhone. It was adapted for Androids, but originally only targeted iPhone. So Pegasus limited in its scope in terms of use. Toga was launched in 2018 with the explicit purpose of selling a tailored ecosystem of cyber capabilities and software products for governmental, law enforcement, and security agencies. According to a profile of the company published in Forbes shortly after it launched, Toka advertised itself as, quote, a one-stop hacking shop for governments that require extra capability to fight terrorists and other threats to national security in the digital domain, end quote. Toka launched with plans to provide spy tools for whatever device its clients require, including not only smartphones, but a, quote, special focus on the so-called Internet of Things. Per the company, this includes devices like Amazon Echo, Google Nest connected home products, as well as connected fridges, thermostats, and alarms. Exploits in these products discovered by Toka, the company said at the time, would not be disclosed to vendors, meaning those flaws would continue to remain vulnerable to any hacker, whether a client of Toka or not. Today, Toka's software suite claims to offer its customers in law enforcement, government, and intelligence the ability to obtain targeted intelligence and to conduct forensic investigations as well as covert operations. In addition, Toka offers governments its Cyber Designers Service, which provides agencies with the full spectrum strategies, customized projects, and technologies needed to keep critical infrastructure, the digital landscape, and government institutions secure and durable. Allie?
Would you like me to take over and read? Or
I would like your thoughts, but if you would like to, sure.
Oh, no. I will give my thoughts. So obviously when I was reading this, the Internet of Things caught my attention. Of course, this is going to be, Pegasus is going to be the story that's kind of like the front story, because you explain more of Toka, given the other issues that you've already talked about, just the fact of with the Internet of Things, I still think a lot of people they read it, they're like, huh, because like people don't understand what the Internet of Things, as far as, like you guys talked about it earlier last week and you've been talking about it, but it's literally going to connect all these inanimate objects. So if you've got this shit with all of it, like, I mean, people don't even understand like the scope of what can be hacked. And so I'm not surprised that this is the story that's not going to be discussed, because it would ask them, that would force these people to explain a lot more than just what they're using. And they're using all that like tech jargon too, just to get, I don't know, my thoughts on that. I want to get to the part about, because I'm selfish about Pritzker, so that's why I'm like, I'll keep reading.
Oh yeah, no, we can jump down here real quick. I just so real quick, just to the couple of things I want to touch on, and we'll just jump down. But given that NSO's Pegasus only targets smartphones, Toka's hacking suite, which like Pegasus is also classified as a quote lawful intercept product, remember that phrase, is capable of targeting any device connected to the internet, including but not limited to smartphones. In addition, its target clientele are the same as those of Pegasus, providing an easy opportunity for governments to gain access to even more surveillance capabilities than Pegasus offers, but without risking notoriety in the media, since Toka has avoided the limelight. This right here is fucking nuts, dude. This is out of like Toka's own presentation. Yeah. So they're saying that in the US alone, 6 billion Internet of Things devices will exist by 2030. 24.1 billion devices connected to the Internet of Things by 2030. So in 9 years, like their stat there was from 2019. So that's a 217% increase. Dude, that's kind of nuts.
Oh yeah.
So
it's all communicating with each other. I mean, because that's giving this, Israeli government the ability to essentially, I mean, it is the Israeli government. It's just, I don't know, because I'm trying to make some points here, have you make points that like dumbs it down a little bit just for clips, to clip it up, because like people might see that and they're like, so everything is spying on us. Why does it matter? Well, it's not just that it's just spying on you. It's what's happening with that information. I mean, it should terrify you, but there's a lot of people that have just already become accustomed to it. They're like, yeah, we're censored, or, we're being observed all the time. We're being surveilled. But this adds an entirely different aspect into it. Not that the Israeli government's, this is nothing new they've been doing, but go ahead, Steve.
No, what I was going to say, though, is that here's the thing. People are already up in arms because this software was illegally installed on their phones. And people, rightfully so, are pissed about that. Publicly, very, very pissed about that. These exact same governments, perhaps, are employing Toka's, available suite of hacking tools at the exact same time, knowing full and damn well that because they're not getting busted for Pegasus, they're in the clear for a while. Now, I would also be interested in finding out whether or not on that map that is provided in the article disclosing the Pegasus software, where it shows the countries that deployed it, and magically none of them are in the West.
No.
I would be curious as to whether or not those countries are employing Toka's software, Toka's technology, or, more advanced or more broadly capable. Because again, if all you're hacking are phones, you're really missing out on being able to eavesdrop on your journalists and your world leaders and your business executives. It's half-assing it.
Yeah,
It is.
it is.
Do better, Morocco.
Come on. We expected better from you.
Get your shit together, Turkmenistan.
So then how long do you think, if ever, this won't be talked about because you brought up, do you think the mainstream media will be discussing this? Now, I don't know how many people are still taking the mainstream media seriously, not in our audience at least, but it's one of those things I don't think that'll be talked. It'd be one of those things that would be talked about like decades from now, if ever. But I think it's, again, I keep going back to this point that there's a lot of people that just don't care anymore at all. Like they become so desensitized to this new world that you tell them that, like, yeah, that's fine. I don't have anything to hide. It's like, it doesn't just stop there, dude. It doesn't just stop there.
I'm gonna come back to the article here.
Yeah, come back.
But, I want to, if you're watching right now and you were watching when Whitney was with us last time and we brought up the name Tal Goldstein, and Whitney goes, you need to remember that name because I'm going to be bringing him up here very, very soon. Well, this is it. But I want to go over a couple of points up here and just to, again, remind you of just how deep this shit runs. In addition to having served as prime minister of Israel, Toka co-founder Ehud Barak previously served as head of Israeli military intelligence directorate Amman, as well as several other prominent posts in the IDF, before eventually leading the Israeli military as Minister of Defense. While MOD, he led Operation Cast Lead against the blockaded Gaza Strip in 2009, which resulted in the deaths of over 1,000 Palestinians and saw Israel illegally use chemical weapons against civilians. Toka is the first startup created by Barak. However, Barak had previously chaired and invested in Carbine 911, a controversial Israeli emergency services startup that has expanded around the world and has become particularly entrenched in the U.S. Carbine's success has been despite the Jeffrey Epstein scandal, given that the intelligence-linked pedophile and sex trafficker had invested heavily in the company at Barak's behest. Barak's close relationship with Epstein included overnight visits to Epstein's now notorious island and apartment complexes that housed trafficked women and underage girls has been extremely documented. Barak stepped away from this in April of last year, likely because of the ties to Epstein. Now, jumping down here a little bit is this guy Peleg, who worked with, so I guess I could do that. Nir Peleg is one of Toka's executives. He comes out of Israel's National Cyber Directorate, which is a Unit 8200 sponsored division. Peleg worked with Tal Goldstein, now the head of strategy for WEF's partnership against cybercrime, which we have talked about on the show a couple of times now, again, extensively with Whitney Webb, and please go watch that interview if you haven't. It's good shit. So the goal of the effort, the WEFPAC, is to establish a global entity that is capable of controlling the flow of information, data, and money on the internet. Notably, Toka CEO Yaron Rosen recently called for essentially the exact organization to be established when he stated that the international community needed to urgently create the cyber equivalent of the WHO to combat the so-called cyber pandemic. We've got them all here.
Well, yeah, everybody, the whole gang. The whole gang.
Morty Zaltzman, who we've talked about before as well. And who else besides your boy? Here we go.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, here we are.
Yes. Let me see. Sorry, my computer's stopped freezing. Okay. Sorry, my screen was messing up. I'm going to read this one. In addition to Entree Capital, Anderson Horowitz, is another of Toka's main investors, venture capital firm co-founded by Silicon Valley titan Mark Anderson. Is currently advised by former Secretary of the Treasury, Larry Summers, close friend of the infamous pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, in case you haven't heard of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I like that she points this out, just early investors that are no longer listed on the firm's website, of course, because, they were early, they're not as prominent now, whatever, but I can guarantee you they're still in it. So in Toka that are no longer listed on the firm's website include Launch Capital, which is deeply tied to the Pritzker family. And Pritzker family, obviously that caught my eye because J.B. Pritzker, who's the governor of Illinois, where I'm at, and I can't emphasize this enough. He has somehow evaded any scrutiny compared to what you see from like Gavin Newsom or Cuomo. So he's very, 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 he's the only billionaire governor, I believe, in the country. Long story short, he's very involved with all this, his family. The Pritzker family is, pretty famous. I'd be surprised if people hadn't heard of one Pritzker. And I believe this is Amy Pritzker, who is directly involved with Launch Capital. And they're just, like any of these other capital groups funding these big projects. And there's always something in it for them. So then, of course, we have the close ties of the Clintons and Obamas, as well as U.S. pro-Israel lobby, and Pei Rothrock, a venture capitalist who spent nearly 3 decades at Venrock, the Rockefeller Family Venture Capital Fund.
Yay!
Woo! So we got everybody here. Oh yeah, this part.
So I'm gonna drop the link to the article in both the chats. I don't want to linger on it too long because we're gonna have Whitney back here in a few weeks. This is gonna be a whole series. And she's got another series that she's working on releasing that will be in accordance, like another dovetailed one with something that Johnny's working on.
Okay.
And it's nice.
It's a good one.
Dude, those guys are fucking savages, man.
Yeah, because they were busy moving and such, but now it seems like since they're kind of settled in, they're really getting to work. Definitely.
So you guys know how I feel about the Paul family. And you guys know that I have had my disagreements with both Paul the Elder and Paul the Lesser. But Paul the Lesser has apparently readjusted the dead cat that he staples to his head every day that he goes out of his house. And boy, has he been lighting up one Anthony Fauci.
Yes, he has.
For the last 6 months, man. And we haven't really covered it too much just because other people do.
Yeah.
And they do it really, really, really well. But today in particular, just because I haven't seen it covered yet. So I don't feel like I'm 8th in line at the gangbang here.
Or first.
There's a clip that Rand was so proud of. He tweeted out, and I wanted to, if we could hear, if you'll indulge me, my secret right-wing psyop co-host.
That's me.
Alexandra.
Wait, I didn't tell you I got called a feminist lib today.
A what?
A feminist lib.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No. So that's,
really? Congratulations.
Thank you. I thought you'd be pretty happy about it. I know I am, so.
Well, tell me about that after. We'll roll clip here, but I want to hear about that shit.
Oh, it's a fascinating story. All right, let's see.
Probably.
accused him of lying before Congress. Now you've sent a letter to the Department of Justice asking for them to do an inquiry. So the basis, as I understand it, is that he claimed quite clearly that there was never any U.S.-funded gain-of-function research that was happening at the Wuhan lab.
And we know that's a lie.
Yeah, lie.
So, and I don't know who the television personality is. They do make them pretty interchangeable over there at the Fox News.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
But she seems antagonistic.
A little bit.
Poor Rand seems pinched. He looks very, very torqued here. He does, poor guy. But the dead cat has been repositioned. You can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell.
And you say that they're being sort of cute with the definition of what gain of function is. Mm-hmm. Can you explain that in basic terms to our audience?
Well, I think it's important to know that Dr. Fauci has a self-interest in obscuring any relationship or responsibility for anything done in the Wuhan lab. Without question, the evidence we presented in committee yesterday shows that the NIH was funding research in Wuhan. We showed the exact numerical series of numbers that goes with the grant number. So yes, they were funding the Wuhan lab. The second question is whether,
and that's true, because the way that when they're pushed against the wall, the way that they respond to it is that the U.S. government did not have a penny in gain of function research at the Wuhan lab, because technically the National Institute for Health is a private organization that advises the government.
Sure.
But it is not itself a government agency.
Right.
So they weasel word it. And I mean, if Rand Paul can't spot a weasel, ain't nobody spotting a weasel. Ain't a weasel to be spotted.
whether or not the research was gain of function. The NIH actually defines gain of function, and I read that definition to him, but he didn't listen. The definition is that any kind of animal virus that occurs in nature that affects animals only or infects animals only, if you recombine it or mutate it or adapt it in the lab with other viruses, so it has characteristics that change it from being an animal-only virus to being a virus that now can infect humans, that you've gained in function. You've gained pathogenesis or you've gained virulence. You've made it more dangerous. Yeah, without question, this is what happened in the Wuhan lab. We have a number of professors who have said so. We put the quote up from...
You got the bat lady. They have the bat lady.
The bat lady.
She's Dr. Bat Lady.
Professor of 30 years
that ain't me.
Rutgers,
that's their nickname.
Professor who said that what they were doing in the lab in Wuhan was the epitome of gain of function. But you have to realize that Dr. Fauci's not disinterested. If this virus came from the lab and it becomes clear that he was funding dangerous research, moral culpability, responsibility attaches to him, and he does not want that. So he's shirking that. But in so doing, he's not being honest with the American people or Congress.
So he claims that you lied about him. He says that there was no gain of function research that was funded by U.S. dollars. And of course, you know, the scariest aspect of this would be if there was any link between the dollars that went from the United States to potentially the actual virus that leaked. And he at one point said to you, is that what you're suggesting that I, was connected to? Is that what you're suggesting?
Well, he once again set something up that we weren't suggesting. He was saying that the viruses discussed in the paper that we presented from Dr. Shi, the bat scientist, that those viruses were not COVID-19.
Well, he wanted to say bat lady hella bad. You know he did.
The bat scientist.
You know he did. But like that was the nickname for her in the lab.
The bat lady.
Fucking
that Dr. Shi wrote a paper talking about how she created COVID-19
in 2017.
We're saying that she was doing gain of function research. The paper proves it. And the one way to get to the bottom of this, Fox could do this. You could bring in 10 disinterested scientists, in this field and ask them, is this gain of function research? There are a bunch of them that will speak on this, but there are many of them who are frightened because their livelihood depends on NIH dollars, and Dr. Fauci controls that money. Yeah. But there are a number of them that have been discussing this all the way back to 2002. The professor that we brought the quote from, he says he's been interested in gain of function research and limitations that we should have on it since 2002.
So let me ask you this. What response do you expect to get from the Department of Justice? And do you think that the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, will want to pursue this issue?
I'm going to go ahead and answer that for you, Martha.
No.
Nope.
No, Martha, no.
I assume they'll act in a very partisan way and they will not pursue this. But the thing is there are ways that the public can also pursue this. If the public wants to get to the bottom of who's right, who's telling the truth, myself or Dr. Fauci, convene a panel
don't make
of
it about
scientists
that, Rand.
and ask them if what Dr. Shi was doing was gain of function. I think you'll be shocked that the vast majority of scientists will say, yes, it's gain of function. It meets the NIH definition. Right now, Fauci's getting away with this because no one's questioning him. He only goes on left-wing networks. They give him easy questions like, ha, 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 isn't Rand Paul so out there? That's the kind of questions he gets. Nobody asks him, well, why isn't it gain of function research? And why, if this science says it's the epitome of gain of function, how are you still denying it? People have to understand there is a self-interest in preservation for Dr. Fauci not to be associated with the Wuhan lab and not.
Well, there's self-interest for Rand Paul to make this partisan.
There's
self-interest for Rand Paul to frame it this way as only Fauci is the responsible party here.
Yeah.
Fauci wasn't a lone actor in any of this. No. And Fauci may be the one person that they're allowing to take some heat for this, but that's only because nobody else that was involved in the project is being brought up at any point in any of these conversations.
Yeah, he's the front man. This is a good example. Oh, wait, I didn't know if it was done. This is just a good example of like, yes, okay, so they're talking about it. That's great. He's not saying anything. Obviously, that's untrue. You can go look up the definition of gain of function. So yeah, he's kind of there, but then like you said, he just made it partisan. So I think sometimes people get caught up in more the person. Now they'll be like, oh, Rand Paul, he's fighting for the truth. He said the truth. It's like, well, no, hang on. Like, he brought up something that's partisan, it's convenient for him. However, there was some truth laced in that. I just want people to go beyond the person.
That's tough, but that's fair. There's about a little less than a minute left here, and I want to see if he walks himself off stage.
Not to admit that he helped to fund this research.
And it's worth pointing out that there was a ban against gain of function research, which had.
So he just said he helped to fund this research. I'm going to back it up for a minute because, but I mean, and then I'll just let it play. But again, here's Rand Paul arguably making the most sense on Fox that day, and still falls way short of definitely what Fox's audience needs,
right?
Or what anybody out here needs too, which is names beyond Fauci.
Yeah.
For how gain of function was funded, and really ultimately whether or not that's even what's responsible. Because if Rand Paul is on national fucking television talking about this shit, chances are it's a misdirect.
Yeah.
And if it's not, it's only because they know they can hang Fauci out to dry and nobody will demand any accountability outside of Fauci be removed from his position.
Yeah. Maybe they'll do that to appease him. He'll still be involved. It's the same pattern.
I want to make sure that everybody hears this shit because he fucking comes out and says that he helped fund. Okay, well, who else, Rand Paul, was there to fund it?
Right.
Why don't you talk about them motherfuckers?
Self-interest in preservation for Dr. Fauci not to be associated with the Wuhan lab and not to admit that he helped to fund this research.
And it's worth pointing out that there was a ban against gain-of-function research, which had at one point been funded by the NIH to sort of make viruses more virulent so that they could figure out how to fight them if they happened to get out into the population. There was a ban on it. So that's why the definition of what it is becomes very important, because if they kept doing it, despite the fact that there was a ban, it needed to be defined as something else. And that's what Dr. Fauci is saying here. I just want to mention real quickly, Josh Rogan has done great reporting on this for the Washington Post. He came out, he said, hey guys, Rand Paul was right. Fauci was wrong. The NIH was funding gain-of-function research in Wuhan, but the NIH pretended it didn't meet their gain-of-function definition to avoid that oversight mechanism, as I was just saying.
Okay.
I mean,
Rogan. Jesus Christ.
it's like, that just, again, that goes back to the example of like, to get there, but then it's just only the safe narratives, or like you said, it's like, here's this, pay attention to Fauci, pay attention to the person, and then everything else just goes. Fox News, though, they get it right, huh? They're better than MSNBC, right?
Well, they probably did a better segment on that.
Well, yeah,
MSNBC.
I'm not hating on,
and we should probably clip that bit out.
Yes.
And put that out. Maybe throw it up on the gram.
On the Instagram. That's Slow News Day.
Somebody fucking jumped my shit because I gave an appreciation post to Akash Singh. They're like, they do anti-China propaganda. And I'm like,
okay.
Do you feel radicalized?
Are you okay?
And he's like, bro, I'm Canadian. I'm like, are you overly politely radicalized? Like, do you have strong nationalist fucking tendencies that you did not have 5 months ago before watching this comedy podcast? How exactly did that work?
Oh, man. It's anti-China propaganda.
And then I got blocked. No, I really did. But I did. I mean, but like, really? Dude's funny as fuck. He's funny.
Yeah. But just like, I think it's funny. Yes, are you radicalized?
I mean, look, dude. They went and saw Keith McHenry in jail in Orlando, Florida, when Food Not Bombs activists were getting fucking brutalized by the police and chucked into jail for feeding the poor. And there was an online demonstration where a couple of the Orlando tourism boards got DDoSed for a little bit. And so they asked Keith, a reporter gets to him. He had been in, I think he said either 12 or 18 days without being able to make a phone call because he didn't have a number memorized going in. He wasn't able to like recall the fucking whatever numbers he normally would have.
Yeah.
He was shaken up a little.
I was gonna say it's a normal normal thing.
But the reporter asked him, like, well, don't you feel like any kind of bad for city of Orlando? I mean, they could have potentially lost $100,000. City of the tourism, blah, blah, blah. Keith goes, anybody get hurt as a result of this? Did the phone stop working? So they could have called the tourism bureau and asked the exact same question. Did Food Not Bombs still get to feed homeless people? They did? Okay. Well, I mean, golly
gee.
Can't muster up any feel bad right now. Still kind of aching from the beating the police gave me.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not writing that down. Like,
right, just being like, what the fuck? Yeah.
I did want to, before we get out of here, and then we should get out of here. I did want to make sure that we covered Kevin Gastola's article in Shadowproof from the other day, or today, I guess, this morning. It seems like it was the other day.
The other day.
The United States government. Oh, and we should read off some super race. The United States government urged a federal court to sentence drone whistleblower Daniel Hale to at least 9 years in prison for disclosing documents to a reporter. Prosecutors maintained Hale joined the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, the NGA, to steal classified information so he could ingratiate himself with journalists. They even submitted secret evidence for the court alleging the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria distributed 2 of the documents in a guidebook for its followers. Y'all, Daniel Hale not coordinating with ISIS.
No.
I mean, Jesus Christ, dude.
Fuck.
For those like Hale who unilaterally decide to disclose classified information, the existence of criminal penalties that are theoretically harsh but practically lenient is not sufficient. Prosecutors declared in their sentencing memorandum, it is particularly important to deter those who, like Hale, might be tempted to gain access for the sole purpose of disclosing it. Such individuals must see that using positions in the intelligence community for self-aggrandizement will be harshly punished.
Excellent.
A significant sentence is necessary to demonstrate that the unauthorized disclosure of classified information is a serious crime with significant consequences. Prosecutors add, Hale was part of the drone program in the U.S. Air Force and later worked at the NGA. He pled guilty on March 31st to one charge of violating the Espionage Act when he provided documents to Intercept co-founder Jeremy Scahill and anonymously wrote a chapter in Scahill's book, The Assassination Complex, inside the government's secret drone warfare program. He was taken custody, sent to the William G. Truesdale Detention Center in Alexandria, Virginia on April 28th. A therapist from pretrial and probation services named Michael violated patient confidentiality and shared details with the court related to his mental health. We reported on that. Hale is scheduled to be sentenced in the Eastern District of Virginia on July 27th, and the sentencing memorandum from the U.S. government reflects the vindictive posture of prosecutors, particularly since he pled guilty. Now, I have, since Commander X was kidnapped from Mexico, said that it appeared to me that the Biden administration was operating on a vengeance-based model through their Justice Department. And Kevin Gastola seems to be echoing the same sentiments. Here, prosecutors refused to dismiss 4 additional charges, but declined to request a trial on those charges. They left open the possibility of going to trial if they are unsatisfied with the harshness of the sentence issued by the court. And they now twist Hale's guilty plea in their argument for severe punishment in order to render it insignificant. This fucked up.
Yeah.
This is a quote from the fucking prosecution. Hale apparently does not accept that the documents he provided to reporter had the potential to cause such serious or exceptionally grave damage to the national security, prosecutors contend, to trigger a reduction in offense level for acceptance of responsibility. A defendant must establish that he has accepted responsibility for all of the charged criminal conduct and the count of conviction, and of course, all related conduct. Prosecutors indicate they would accept a sentence of 7 years and 3 months if Hale admitted his whistleblowing risked serious or exceptionally grave damage to U.S. national security. In other words,
Whoa.
They do not believe Hale's guilty plea is good enough to receive a sentence of 5 years or less, and they have trapped a conscientious and vulnerable individual in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. Hale could try and withdraw his guilty plea and go to trial, but Judge Liam O'Grady may not allow it, or he could plead guilty and accept the documents risked serious or exceptionally grave damage, even though he doesn't believe that's the truth of what happened. Either way, Hale is likely to receive the most harsh sentence for an unauthorized disclosure of information ever issued against a former U.S. government employee or contractor. Currently, Reality Winner holds that record. Prior to her, it was John Kiriakou.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh no, go on. Just I'll say my
Yeah.
piece.
No.
Oh yeah, it's to like whittle it down. Okay, so Steve, why do people plead guilty? What usually happens when one pleads guilty? Meaning like your sentence. Isn't that a
Well, normally prosecution cuts some sort of plea deal.
yes.
And they will give you a reduced sentence. In turn, you give a guilty plea. You admit to a number of ludicrous things. And the trade-off normally is that you will have an extended parole or probation afterwards, and you will be heavily monitored, and the state will still be able to milk tons and tons and tons and tons of money out of you.
Yeah.
And that's the trade-off.
Yes.
But in this case, they are out on Front Street saying we want to make an example.
Yeah.
Which again, they're trying to do with Commander X. They're trying to do with Julian Assange. They're trying to do it with Barrett Brown. Barrett Brown is a punk ass, and Barrett Brown will most likely be like, fuck you, until, he's squeezed to a point to where people have to go to jail. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know. They're fucking squeezing everyone that they couldn't get or they didn't get enough during the Obama administration.
In round one, right.
It's fucking gross.
I mean, this is horrifying though, because like the way that they twist his plea. I want to know what people in like the legal field actually think about this, because this is something, I mean, the precedent that this sets, not that they care, but I mean, because of, like you said, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't at this point. This is just scaring anyone out of, because if they can say that you joined something, specifically to get information, to share it, I mean, how are they going to prove that your intent necessarily if you never said that, etc.? I'm just thinking of like so many what if situations.
Dude,
holy shit.
Yeah. And so, and it is a continuation of the Trump administration torturing the fuck out of these people too.
Yeah.
Because Joshua Schulte is still under special administrative measures. Because Daniel Hale, they know, is in fragile mental health. They're making the man choose between his principles and the next decade minimum in prison for disclosing information about the drone program. I exposed the fact that the drones, the Hellfires, the precision missiles, yeah, they only hit their intended target 10% of the time. 10. That means 90 out of 100 bodies do not need to be bodies. The 10 probably don't need to be bodies either. Let's be honest. Anybody raining death from 2 miles above has kind of lost the plot a little bit.
A bit, yeah.
Yeah.
10%. Like, is that supposed to be a good thing? Jesus fucking.
In a normal world, they would have immediately halted the drone program. They would have immediately hauled in everyone involved at a command level, all the way down to the people on the ground who reported the intelligence that determined whether or not there was going to be a strike. Everybody would have been hauled in. Meanwhile, the program would have been suspended. And I know for a fucking fact they lie to the fucking engineers and software developers and the people who fucking create the guidance systems and all that shit. I know for a fucking fact because I had a client of mine freak out on me when I told him about this. Flipped the fuck out on me because he worked for Lockheed and he helped design some of those systems. And it was in his patriotic fucking mind that he had created the most precision death machine that they could come up with. And that specifically with civilian lives in mind. And I'm like, what the fuck did you think was going to happen when you put a Hellfire missile to it?
Right. Honestly.
Those aren't bullets, yo.
It's such the whole program, the drone warfare that really Obama, I always would just call him the drone king, that he brought in, really amplified. The words that they would use around it are so gross, like, like surgical, tactical, like just very precise, like to make really convince people that, no, this is, there's no boots on the ground. We're just going to fly over just real quick and then we'll get out of there.
Which is even creepier. But yes, the dehumanization involved, the desensitization involved, the sanitized language.
You see that in other areas now too, obviously.
Oh,
Patterns. Yeah. So this is horrifying.
Let's see. So I'll drop the link and clear out. Please do, by the way, guys, if you're not frequently check out Shadow Proof. Kevin Gistola is one of our better working journalists, and reports on so much that we don't get to. He's a busy motherfucker, man.
Yeah. He's I like him. He keeps it classy. He's a sweetheart.
A lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
Let me read through it, guys. I hate to, but we are trying to do this thing full time. We are trying to be able to do the kind of stuff that we are doing, and have done and have had to have separate fundraisers and shit for, trying to get to the point to where we don't have to do that shit and are just funded through the show so that we don't have to constantly fucking throw up fundraisers to travel to go do these events. And the only reason we're doing the events is because nobody else is. And that's no bullshit. Animators, which M4A March are you attending and will you be live streaming? Really wish there was one in Des Moines, but I'm peppering the city wherever I can with M4A and Free Julian posters. I do know that I think both Pasta and Fee are speaking at the one in LA. Jones is in Broward, Miami, right? I don't think there's an M4A March in Miami.
There's got to be one in Florida. They have a ton.
Jones was not asked to speak or attend. I was not asked to speak or attend, but I also have a family obligation on Saturday, so I wasn't gonna be able to do this shit anyway. I do know that the Convo Couch will be streaming it.
I think
I know Franco's gonna stream it too.
Yeah, I mean,
Franco's going up to New York to cover the one in New York.
I know in Chicago, there's a couple people. I think Kit Cabello is speaking in Chicago actually, so I'm sure they'll be live streaming it. I don't know where else.
I think I'm going to be streaming it for Misty, so if you want to stream the Columbus one, I can throw it on our channel too.
Okay. Oh yeah, Misty's speaking at the one in Columbus.
I think she's emceeing or something.
So hopefully that helps. Anna, Misha Key said Soylent Green is people. Soylent Green. Shadowban Refugee said, Jesus Christ, it's good to see Empress Alley on the Slow News Day screen again. Will M, thank you very much. Gary B said, I'll pay $5 to see and listen to Alley every time. Y'all. You were missed, Alley. You were. And it's not just your simp squad. Like,
Jesus Christ. Yeah, come on. No, appreciate it. It's good to be back.
It's all right, dude. It's all right. So far, at least with like the vast majority of our audience, it hasn't been super creepy.
No, not at all. Stay cool.
Fucking
shit happens.
Hopefully stays that way.
Oh yeah. Got nothing.
Make me pull this show over.
Oh shit. All right. I will pull this show over.
But thank you very much, guys. I appreciate the love. I don't know if anybody noticed or not, but fucking Ray tanked down to like 20 cents. Like tank crash, but
crypto's all tanking, dude.
Yeah, well, I just saw that both Bitcoin and Ethereum are back up. Like Ethereum's back up over like 2,100 now.
Still a lot less than it was. So
yeah. No, I know you're not wrong. But on the Rockfin and the Ray scene, there is some exciting news because coming to the platform now, the one, the only, Alex fucking Jones.
What? I've been busy with work. I missed that.
Have a Rockfin channel.
Oh,
he announced it on Burner this morning.
We're gonna get so much hate.
I mean, that's the nail in the coffin.
What you gonna do, Tina? What you gonna do?
Oh yeah, Tina. Oh my God.
There's a Nazi on here.
Leading all the other Nazis. Well,
man, that's wild shit. That's why it is.
Alex, really?
Also, you don't need an account on Rockfin to do this.
That's what I thought you were going to announce. It wasn't Alex.
No, that's huge news too.
Yeah, that's
great. Account to watch videos on Rockfin anymore. That's like there's no reason whatsoever to ever throw out another fucking YouTube link. YouTube people, you do not need an account. According to what YouTube lets us have in terms of subscribers, we're already more than double this morning, guys. This morning, we got to 12,000 on Rockfin. That is fucking awesome. That's kick ass.
Yeah.
We now have a little bit more than 12K. And that's fucking beautiful, man. That's fucking amazing, dude. I'm stoked. And yet, over on the YouTubes, we're stuck back at what? 5.69.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been hovering around that for a minute. So yeah, 12,000.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
So I went. That's not even approaching half. 3 thumbs down. Fuck you, haters. That's fucking hilarious.
Wow, only 3. I think that's 3 is pretty good actually. No, but
we pissed significantly more people off, and I didn't even do like the rant thing that I was. That's all right, dude. We can save that. We can save that because we were supposed to talk to Garland Nixon tomorrow. Garland, I don't even know if you guys know this or not. Garland was in a bad car accident a couple of weeks ago, and he has like a concussion, and was like, dude, he was trying to go back to work like 48 hours later. And he was trying to fucking come on this. He was booking me on critical hour and fucking like just he needs to rest up.
Yeah.
So unless I can scramble a guest, we'll do some of the stuff that we didn't get to tonight. We've been going for damn near 2 hours, so I should shut the fuck up and also like get ready to go talk again. I'll be on with Jimmy Dean in a couple hours here. That's going to be 10:30 on the West Coast, 1:30 in the AM on the East Coast for you late night freaky people.
A little late, but it's a weird time. It's weird.
It's a fantastic show. Jimmy Dean is a crazy motherfucker, and he usually comes with some random people that are just like deep nerds into whatever field they're in. It's fantastic. It's good shit. I love it. I was telling somebody, I don't think it was you. Like, I'm the fucking most lighthearted.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Yeah. I'm the lighthearted guest for the week on the show. Like the rest of them are all like, we've got reverse speech on Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and fucking demons and
demons and just it's dark. So
it get deep.
Yeah.
Allie, what do you got? It's good to see.
I know. It's good to come back. Been busy, but while at work, I'm working on a few things. You know me, I like to look at all the reports and studies, the consulting class, and a company that I'm not going to name, but that I happen to be employed with, allegedly. How do I say this without getting fired? I can't say much, but there was an acquisition recently that I'm kind of working on gathering information for about. It's real estate. There's a lot of shit happening in the real estate industry that's quietly, it's not being talked about, and it all has to do with the fourth industrial revolution. So I'm working on that. I'm
so here's what we need, guys. We need all of the 12,000 people that are subscribed to the show to send in $10 a month so we can all fucking do this full time.
Yes.
And so Allie can fucking go full whistleblower on her fucking place of employment.
Please. That's what I'm gathering right now.
$5 a month from like the 10 to 12,000 people that are subscribed to the fucking Rockfin channel. Or if fucking 2,000 of you endorse the channel, you know, the fucking crypto tank, like, still help.
Yeah.
You know? We 2,000 of you should already be endorsing the channel. Anyway, I mean, it's a good show. It's a good show.
Good. Yeah, so that's what I got going on right now. And just complaining about DSA and pissing off DSA, but that's for another day.
It's so much fun though. It is. We got a hell of a rest of the week though, man. We do, because even if we're short a guest tomorrow, we got a fuck ton to cover. Friday, get your shit together.
Call-in show.
It's the best call-in show in the world. It is. Sunday, Reed Coverdale back on the program. The man with the $1 million mustache.
Yeah.
Rejoining us, and I'm very excited about that.
Oh yeah.
And all kinds of good stuff. Yeah, tomorrow. I'm not actually sure if it goes out live or not, but I've the fucking lots going on. tinfoil hat, and I'm on Chrissy Marr's show, and I'm on the Unity or Death podcast with Magnus and a panel of motherfuckers, including Misty and Adam Kokesh and a couple other folks, and that will be pleasantly chaotic. And I have threatened to challenge Adam Kokesh to a ponytail rigidity contest because Adam was trying to get out of the fact that he had a man bun, and he said it was just a very erect ponytail. And I may have intimated that mine's bigger.
Oh boy. Okay, so you guys are gonna
there may be a challenge. A challenge was issued.
All right, well. God, I can't. The challenge. Hear ye, there's a challenge.
I mean, I'm still Jackson Barlow. Thank you very much for the Super A. I'm stoked, man. I haven't got to chat with Adam in quite a while. It's been damn near a year, and I did the show as a wildfire evacuee, and it was like the back of my ex-wife's fucking car, and I had a laptop and a camera set up, and like behind me was the ocean, but it's where I could go.
Jesus.
Because we were at this, like, they put a bunch of wildfire evacuees up at this like conference center place called the Sillamar on Sillamar State Beach, which is right next to Pebble Beach Golf Course. And under ordinary circumstances, it would have been like beautiful and fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But because it was wildfire evacuation and it was the Rona and total fucking lockdown, and like masks outside on the beach is where I saw a guy fucking surfing with a mask on.
Stop.
Yes. Surfing with a mask on. Like, that is going for the gold in the virtue signaling Olympics.
Wow.
Can't trust fish, dude.
I know. They're the silent
back around to earlier.
Yeah, it is. Full circle. They're the silent killers.
No.
Motherfuckers.
Fucking fish kids. Anyway. Fucking. Oh my god, dude! I know a bunch of them too, man. Oh my god.
Oh man.
From back in the day.
Yeah, you know like the OG ones. Like I know like the second generation. You're like the OG, yeah. Which I can only imagine how fun. Yeah, that is. Your face says it all. Because second generation, third generation, maybe, I don't know, not great.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure the second generation was born shooting heroin. Like,
yeah, actually.
Fucking.
No, yeah.
What happens if you put crack in your asshole?
I don't know. I was at a fish show and somebody tried it. Yeah, all right, I'm done hating on fish, but.
All right.
Lots of merriment.
Just boof it. I love you guys. Big thanks to Sleepy Josh on the ones and twos. Big thanks to my better than your co-host, Ali Alexandra. Huge shout out to Glory Jones, who just got off an airplane like right when we were starting. And glad that she landed safe. Hella glad that she was able to come out for the event yesterday. We did an ABB. It was kind of impromptu, but we did a pretty thorough recap of the X event, and then Glory and Lubers and Steve Cutler and Lucky Burrito were on the vigil the other night talking about it. I refuse to call Lucky Burrito by her fucking government name.
Yeah, no.
Can't believe
I don't know her government name.
Oh, they put it in the title of goddamn vigil.
I didn't watch the visual. I was busy.
He was busy.
Yelling at you.
Oh,
insensitive motherfuckers. I love you guys. I do. Lucky Burrito.
Yeah, it's Lucky Burrito.
Use that woman. This is like calling pasta Craig.
Yeah. Craig.
It's his slave name.
Oh my god.
Come on now. can't
don't
do
use
that
that.
shit. Love you guys. Josh, what you got? I fucking miss you too. You've been fucking busy, and more busy and busy.
Just being busy.
Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, it was good. Got to hang out with Mom.
Good.
It was good.
Good.
All right, guys.
All right.
Again,
I'm working on the site tonight, by the way, so that should be to date sometime tonight.
Cool.
Right on.
Into the Microcosm with Jimmy Jean, 10:30 on the West Coast, 1:30 in the AM on the East Coast. Get your late night freak on. We're about it. We'll see you soon. Good luck to you all.